Hey, everybody. It's just a privilege to be with you. I'm Brad Powell from Northridge Church in Michigan, and I just want you to know right up front how much I deeply respect and admire you for sacrificing all the things you could do in life to focus in on the kingdom of God and the church and leading that. And so many leaders down through the years have spoken into my life, and I'm the product of that investment that I consider it a deep privilege to get to speak into your life right now. And I'm going to talk about developing staff and team and what's working, what's failed, what we're testing out, and those kind of things. It's an important area. And I have to tell you, I'm best at talking about what's failed because I've done more of that than anything else. The truth is I've eventually learned a lot of the right things, but I learned them in all the wrong ways. And maybe by sharing some of them with you, I can help you take a bridge across the failure. And the first thing I'd have to tell you, success. We've had a measure of success at Northridge, and it told me that I was doing things right. But that's the wrong lesson when you experience success. The truth is God can use anyone, and he can use us in spite of our failures. And we have to be more thoughtful than just follow our path of least resistance. And one of the things I did in leadership development that was messed up was that I didn't do it at all. You see, I had never had anyone develop me. I had never had anyone show me the pathway. And in fact, I felt like the greatest gift anyone could give me was to throw me out in the ocean and tie a couple anchors on my leg and say, swim. And man, that was a challenge, and it jazzed me up. And so I thought I was being a great leader to give other people that gift. It turns out people aren't as bizarre as I am, and it's not the best way to do leadership development. And so I had to realize that I had to structure it. And one of the things that I missed, I just wasn't thoughtful enough to get it, was that I really was doing leadership development in the early days. It just wasn't intentional or strategic. It wasn't systematized. I was just close to all the leaders. We were a small community of leaders, and so what I was doing, they got, and we grew together. Well, as we grew as an organization and we got layers of leadership, all of a sudden, I wasn't close enough for leaders to catch it that way. And so I didn't replace it because of my own dysfunction, and it messed us up. Another big problem I had in leadership development led to a huge failure was that we didn't structure intentional opportunities to have fun together. In the early days, with that small core of leaders that helped me change the world, so to speak, we had fun together. I mean, we did work together, we did life together, but as the layers of the organization, the complexity grew, we didn't all hang out, and we didn't replace the fun. We didn't structure in the fun. And how in the world can you charge a hill together if you don't know each other? How can you be involved in changing the world if you don't know each other? It just doesn't work. And so you got to have fun together, and you got to look for ways. Things we've done, we've given in the summer half Fridays to our staff so they can have fun and go do community things. We just literally a month ago did a huge canoe trip out to where then we could have conversations about our vision and our new ministry season when our hearts were open to one another, and we were having fun and eating bad food together, and it's just important. And another thing I did that really led to failure was we decentralized all leadership development. We did it for specialized training, but we didn't do it in a way that kept everyone focused on the vision, the mission, the values, and the strategy. And so they were good at their specialty, but they were missing the point of why we were in this game. And they didn't have my heart anymore because we didn't intentionally structure opportunities to do that. And so that was a messed up idea and avenue that we took. And the final one is we left the spiritual out of leadership development. And here's the reality. A great leader who's not spiritual is a failed leader in the church. And we have to focus on the spiritual. In Acts 6, as the complexity of the organization grew, the disciples didn't allow themselves to be pulled into it. They got others to focus on that, and they stayed centralized on the ministry of the word and prayer. And we have to do that. So what are we doing? We're now doing the opposite of what came natural to me. We're trying to systematize leadership development up and down the layers of our ministry. We're trying to structure in fun. We're trying to make sure that we don't leave the spiritual out of leadership development. It's a big, big deal, and we're making sure that we keep it centralized, that I get to touch people and our hearts get to be connected. Thanks for what you're doing. If you're going to develop leaders, you have to do it intentionally and thoughtfully, and I hope some of my failures will help you miss the failure and go right to success.